Hey everybody, this is Nick Menza, and you're listening to Metal One. Cool.
Greetings from India, Mr. Nick Menza. How are you and how's the day going on so far?
Very good.
Great, and looks like you were practicing right now, so tell us something about what you were nailing.
Just practicing, going over some songs for the Metal All-Stars tour that I'm getting ready to do.
Great, so tell us something about the upcoming tour with Metal All-Stars.
The All-Star tour so far that I know is a bunch of different artists from different bands. Some of them being Zakk Wylde, Joey Belladonna, Blasco from Ozzy, bass player. There's a lot of different players on it. Phil Anselmo from Pantera. It sounds like it's going to be a really fun tour, actually.
Cool. So.
And our first show is supposed to be March 23rd in Bulgaria. And then we make our way from there, to Russia and Sweden and Finland, a couple places.
Wow. So.
And then supposedly to go to South America after that, so we'll see what happens with the rest of the dates.
Wonderful. So, the first half of 2014 looks jam-packed.
Yeah, it's going good so far. Staying busy.
Right. Now, talking about Atomic Disintegrator, you have written all the music yourself. And since this has got something to do with the cartoon, what's the message you are going to provide through these particular shows you're doing?
Well, first off to say the Atomic Disintegrator is, yes, a band that I'm trying to form together, and right now it's just me. My initial idea was to have a cartoon behind it and have this comic book character, the Atomic Disintegrator. I have two little boys. I have a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old, so they're always up on the hip and coming out cartoons that are on TV, so I'm watching all these cartoons. I'm going, man, I need to make a cartoon called the Atomic Disintegrator. So, he's like a superhero, fights all these villains and, that kind of stuff. And I thought it would be cool to have a band, Atomic Disintegrator, and be able to write a song for each episode of the cartoon. And it's a lot of work, man, to try and do that stuff by yourself. It's like crazy to think you're going to just do everything and put out a cartoon.
Right. Surely
it's insanity. It's like, you're going to do that all by yourself? Okay, go for it. so it's been tough. It's been a tough little haul trying to put stuff together, and I have a bunch of ideas, and the Metal All-Stars has kind of put on the Atomic Disintegrator on hold for a moment.
Okay.
Until I make this run and come back, and then I can start doing, pumping out some of my original stuff. I'm working with this other guy from Poland, a buddy of mine called Vitek, guitar player.
Right.
I'm aware of those. With him, videos. He's awesome. He's an awesome player, awesome engineer, producer guy, and I hope that we're going to do some more stuff, coming up, because I like his riffs. He's got some cool riffs.
Wonderful. So, since this is about the cartoon, is Nick Menza, superhero in some sense?
No, Nick Menza is just the brains behind the idea, and I'm AKA Atomic Disintegrator.
All right. Wonderful. Now,
alien implanted.
You also have an upcoming release, Mega Life. How did that happen? Did Marshall Craig approach you with the idea?
Yes, he did.
And what is the ultimate goal?
He wants to hear my story about me, about Nick Menza. He goes, no, dude, it's a cool story. He goes, I've been researching some stuff on it. He goes, I think you should put out a book. And I thought, well, okay, yeah, I'm not opposed to it, whatever. And we started talking about a bunch of stuff. He actually came and stayed with me at my house for about 8 months. And we wrote the whole book out. And Mega Life was just kind of a joke title that Neil Peart from Rush came up with. I got an autograph from Neil one show backstage, and he wrote Nick, happy drumming, and he wrote Mega Life in parentheses. And when I showed it to J. Marshall Craig, he was scanning some pictures and stuff that I had for the book.
Right.
He goes, dude, why didn't you write Megalife? I go, I don't know. He just wrote that on there. It's kind of weird. He goes, that's a great title for your book, Megalife.
It surely is.
So I was kind of giving Neil, I was giving him the credit. You know, like, hey, Neil first came up with the title of my book. But as it shows now, I can't use Megalife because David Ellison has the Church of Megalife in Arizona or whatever, and I was told that I couldn't use it or they were going to take legal action against me for using that title. So I'm going to change it to Menza Life or something of the sort, Menza Death, or I don't know, I'll get some play on the word in there, and Countdown to Resurrection is basically what it's going to be called.
Okay, that's on.
It's a funny book. It's got cool stuff in it. It's got a lot of fucking Megadeth stuff. It's got a lot of behind the scenes, you know, on the road.
Right.
Alien conspiracies, government cover-ups, all that sort of stuff.
So, is it a dirty rock and roll kind of book?
You mean with like a bunch of drugs and sex and debauchery?
Yeah. Typical 80s, 90s.
No, not really. Not really.
Okay.
It doesn't really have any of that in there, you know? And it's like, everybody's asking me, dude, what do you say about Dave in the book? What do you say about Dave? I'm like, you have to buy the book and read it. I'm going to tell you. There's no lie in it.
Right. Now, tell us something from the book which
is truth.
Tell us something from the book which is going to surprise people. You know, something which was unexpected from Nick Menza.
I don't know what to say about that. I do a lot of stuff. I build a lot of stuff. You know, on the side, I build a lot of custom mountains. I'm making symbols right now. Symbol line.
Soul-tone.
They're going to be my signature symbols, like Nick Menza's signature line of symbols, and they're going to be through Soul-tone. It's the company that's putting them out for me. And they're awesome symbols, dude. They got like cool artworks on them. If you want, I can send you out like a pic or two of a couple of the prototypes that I have, so you can check them out. I can attach them on a text on your phone or whatever, and you can scope them out or get some from my manager. He's going to have a few pictures that I just finished.
Cool.
Do like artwork symbols, like I did like artwork on top of them. So they're kind of like an art piece, but yet they're still drum symbols that you can play on.
Right. Even
limited edition.
You had released 2 drum videos last year, which basically the Holy Wars cover, which you guys had released through the Soul-tone. So it didn't surprise me because, you know, as always, you nailed them smoothly. But what gave me a thump was the ending of Holy Wars, the place where you hit the cymbals in a cross direction while you're standing.
Yes.
That's the signature in Nick Menza style, which I really miss in Megadeth.
You like that, huh?
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm a drummer too, so it kind of gives that, you know, that rush.
You know, I had to do that, right? I just had to do it. That's like my ham out point right there, and it's like something. It's so corny, but yet it's so cool to do live in front of an audience of people.
Yep.
It's not something I do in my studio at home when I'm playing these 2 albums. I don't like crisscross on there, but actually the guy who I stole that from was from Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Okay.
Remember who they were?
No.
You heard of them?
No.
They're a big band back like when I was growing up as a kid. And their drummer used to play standing up. And he had his toms up really high, and he always do these crisscross like cymbal hits. He'd like cross his hands and hit both crashes at the same time. And I'm like, man, that is so awesome.
Wonderful. Nonetheless, it's anyway evident. It looks damn good. You're son of a legendary jazz musician, Don Menza, and during your formative years, your playing style was influenced by jazz, you know, gospel, funk, etc. What made you finally figure out that your true calling was to be a metal drummer?
I've always liked hard, heavy music. You know, my favorite bands are Led Zeppelin and Rush. And I basically learned to play drums by playing to those albums. Like I can honestly say I know every single Rush song, and I know every single Led Zeppelin song ever recorded.
Right.
Backwards and forwards, and you know, I grew up on a lot of jazz with my dad, a lot of classical music, and I don't know, if my dad had been a heavy metal player, I probably would have ended up playing jazz.
So
So just the opposite of what I think it had some influencing on my playing, but you know, my father's like really great composer, arranger,
right.
and tenor player. So it's just got to be in the genes somewhere. My kids both play instruments. They play drums, sax,
nice.
bass, guitar, keyboards. They're just like animals on all the instruments. They're like, Dad, let me play that.
Cool.
So it's fun to see them, you know, little kids excel on that shit. It's just a shame that they don't have music in all the schools now.
That's true.
Cut all that stuff out.
Right, that's true. Now, you along with Marty Friedman, David Ellefson and Mustaine are considered to be the classic line of Megadeth. Now, did you have a feeling that Rust in Peace would go on to become such a great record during the recording process?
You know, it's funny because Rust in Peace is a live album, no click track on that album. And it's actually analog recording.
Okay.
So I personally like the sound of Rust in Peace because it sounds more real, raw, you know. Not that the other Megadeth records don't sound good, but from there on out, it's all digital recording.
Right.
And I noticed the difference. When I have a system at home that I built, speakers and amps and all this shit. Rust in Peace to me sounds like the band is in my studio right there. I can close my eyes and it sounds like everything's in the room they're playing.
Right.
Great recording.
That's true. And also
Mike Clink.
yeah, also the 3 albums that followed it. I mean, slowly but surely moved away from the Rust in Peace style. Was it a conscious decision on the band's path to evolve musically, or was it just one of those things that wasn't pre-planned?
I think it's just one of those things that just happened, you know. It's like we try to be rehearsed always when we go in for records. We try to be really tight. And we go in. I mean, it took me 10 days to do Rust in Peace. It was like I did 1 song a day, basically.
Okay.
And that was the process, and it was alive, and everything, there was no click track, and then the albums after that, like I said, we used click, and we used digital tape, and the sound matured a little more, you know, it was a lot clearer, and I don't know, man, I like that early, wow, just on fire shit, plus we were just new guys coming out in the band, so
right.
There was a lot of energy there, a lot of fire and like angst, and just like, dude, I want to be the guy, you know. Let's destroy the drums on the song.
Right. Do you see the same fire and the same, you know, passion in Megadeth right now?
No, I hate to rag those guys and say that they're not any good, but they're lacking the energy sense of it. They're lacking that over-the-top pump that they used to have. They're good. I mean, I've seen them play a few times in concert, you know, it's just like, whatever. It's kind of weird when you go see a band that you played with for over 10 years and then you see somebody else playing up there.
Right.
It's like watching somebody bone your ex-girlfriend, you know, and you're like, hey, dude, that's not how you do it. you do it like this, bro. Here's what's happening.
It surely is strange. Now, even in 2004, you auditioned for Megadeth's part once again when Mustaine decided to put back the classic lineup. But things didn't work out, you know, as per, you know, press says Mustaine said you weren't ready. Was that the actual reason?
Yep. That's what he says.
So was that the exact reason?
I was ready. I was totally ready. I felt like for some reason I just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't going to happen. But I think I got used for whatever purposes to fit this or for whatever reason behind it. The other drummer came right out and he knew all the songs that he was in the main getting ready to do that anyway. I got started like again, second time. 2 times fired.
Right.
He came out 3 days before the first show, Sean, whatever the drummer's name is, Grover.
Right.
And they had like 3 days before the first gig, so come on, nobody comes out 3 days before a show and starts to learn all the material. It's like
True.
he was already, his brother was already the guitar player playing with us at the time,
Glenn Grover.
Yep, so they were the 2 brothers that got in there, and you know, whatever. Just shit happens, you know. I always say everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Absolutely.
And it's all good, you know. I don't have any hard feelings towards Dave or the guys, and if something can come about, you know, in the future for a reunion,
right.
I'm totally down to do something just for the fans, forget about the band and, you know, the bandmates. There's something about the fans that are demanding that we can see that. So
right.
eventually, it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen because they're going to run out of ideas, and it's going to come out, and I'll try to do it. I won't say no, I'll never go after with Megadeth again.
True.
But,
I understand that. What happened recently? I mean, I read your Facebook message which you had posted a few days back regarding how Dave reacted when you saw him at NAMM. I think it was disappointing.
I was embarrassed. It's embarrassing for the fans to see other people run off like that and Dave didn't even bother me. It's possibility that he really didn't see me and he just took it signing autographs and in that moment, which I totally understand, and maybe it's just me, it's a situation. There were fans that saw me like waiting to say hello to him. All I wanted to do was shake his hand and say, hey, that's gone. And his security guy just must be right out of the way. The dude in the lines over there. I go, I don't want an autograph. I just want to say hello to my friend and shake his hand.
Right.
I called him literally like a foot away from him.
Right.
And the guy was like pushing me away, and then the fans were like, dude, that was tight, man. And I was like, how embarrassing. It's totally embarrassing.
Surely it was.
But you know what? That's cool. I'm still, like I said, I got no hard feelings, and I understand all that stuff. You're got all these people clamoring around. The NAMM show's crazy, dude. It's just like maniac people there.
Right.
Wall-to-wall people everywhere, and it's crazy. It's just like too many people.
Surely is. I mean, people keep saying that Nick is going to be back in the band. Something's going to happen in the future.
I know, they never stop. Look how many years it's been, and they're still saying it.
Right. It's because there's a different vibe when you are on drums compared to the other drummers. We have heard it all. We have seen it all. There's a different vibe. So there are the bunch of dedicated fans that want to see you back into the Megadeth, especially after the videos have released, and it has certainly pumped up the fans.
Yes, I mean, you know what? I totally agree with the fans. It's like I took about 10, 12 years off to raise two boys, and that's really where I've been this whole time, is like raising two boys.
Right.
They're insane. I love them to death. They're like my kids, and it's a job, man. It's a 24/7 job with these guys.
True.
They're like Black Ops leaders.
Right.
Pack leaders. So it's constant. Now I want to start playing again, and I tell people, I go, hey, I'm coming out of retirement. I was retired there for a little while. Now I'm coming out. Whatever can happen is good. If I get in another band that's already happening, so be it.
Right.
I'm looking to play and do some things and putting it out there that I can play still. And I'm 50 years old. It's only a number.
That's cool. Look, tell us about your fascination with aliens and government conspiracies.
Yes, we're all here because of aliens.
Right.
We're all crossbred through some other species that they're not telling us about, whether it's reptilian or whatever species it is. That's how we've gotten so much technology and knowledge of things and where we are, and we're evolving as a race of people.
Yes.
Look at all the technology we have.
True.
It just didn't come out of thin air, so we didn't think it out. It's like we're crossbred beings with another being of some sort. And yeah, I totally believe there's other life out there. God, please come and take me. Come to my house first. Because I'll go.
Right.
Be the first to jump on the ship and be like, let's go to a new planet. Go to the real world.
True.
There's got to be something else besides this.
Absolutely.
I believe there is.
Cool. That's.
Where are you calling from? You're in India?
Yes, I'm from India.
What part of India are you from?
Bangalore.
Cool.
You haven't been to India, right?
No, I've never been to India.
Okay, so you got to plan out something, man. I mean, at least a drum clinic, or let's say with Atomic Disintegrator in, let's say, by 2014 or by 2015, it would be great.
I'd love to. I'd like to come there and do like a drum clinic or something.
Yep, that would be great.
Yeah, well, you guys do they have the artists come there and do stuff like that? Drum clinics or?
Yep, we've had George Kolias come here. We've had Virgil Donati come here for a clinic.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Maybe you could set something up with my management, and we could plan something.
Yep, that would be great. I'll try to figure out something because especially the endorsement deals like Tama or Pearl, those guys bring the artist here in India for the drum clinics, so that would be great.
Yeah, because right now I'm with Pearl drums and I'm with Soul Tone Cymbals, so
Yep.
those are the two companies so far that are locked in this year for doing this Metal All-Stars thing.
Right.
And yeah, I'm just trying to break it out and let people know that I'm alive and playing. I forgot how fun it was to play the drums, you know, for a little while there. It wasn't fun anymore.
But it's good to be back. It's good to see you back. It's good to see that energy which Nick Menza is known for.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you listen to the new, modern metal bands? I mean, there are so many drummers which have come from last 1 decade. Any favorites?
Bands that are out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like Opeth.
Uh-huh.
You know the band Opeth?
Yep, Swedish.
Yes, they've got some serious. The last drummer before this drummer, Lopez.
Are you talking about Martin Lopez?
Yes.
Oh, he's a great.
He's one of my favorite. One of my favorite drummers. The guy that's out there like doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that they got after him, the new guy. Yeah, God, man, he's an amazing drummer. It's amazing. Super, super cool guy. Super nice guy. Like your brother. Like if you start talking to him, he's just a super cool guy. He's like really awesome. And then another great band another Swedish band is Meshuggah, which is one of my favorites.
Wonderful.
Thomas Hake.
Yes.
Yep, I love those guys. They're like the scientists of metal.
Absolutely. I mean,
they go for these mathematical equations of chord changes and just the darkest, heaviest. Like they're a pretty technical band. I don't think a lot of people realize how technical they are.
They are the forefathers of this entire mathcore scene which has started.
Yep, for sure. And kids just they eat that shit up. They love the sound live. Meshuggah's sound is ominous in concert. Opeth too. That's one thing I like about Opeth is they're very technical. Musically, like playing wise, they're all great musicians in that band.
Right. Wonderful.
So those are two of my favorite bands. I like Porcupine Tree a lot. I like Incense. Have you heard of them from Norway?
No, I've heard Porcupine Tree, but the other band I haven't.
Yeah, Incense. Check them out. They're from Norway. They have a song called "Burning the Beautiful Fire."
Uh-huh.
They're just on the edge of their pants. These guys. They're fucking just go for it, and it's it's got to be the right tempo for that shit to work because it's so hairball.
Wow.
So Euro grind metal, grindcore metal stuff. Really cool shit though.
Cool.
Really soulful fucking players.
That's awesome.
So that's about it. That's what I got in my car, in my CD changer. I got those 5 groups in my carousel.
Wonderful. Got a chance to listen to Marty Friedman's new album, Inferno?
No, is it coming out?
It's coming out soon. Have you been in touch with him?
No, I haven't talked to Marty recently.
Uh-huh.
I saw Dave Ellison, at NAMM, so I saw David Ellison, the bassist. And I haven't spoken with Marty in a while.
Mm-hmm. And
last time I saw Marty was at Musicians Institute. He was doing a guitar clinic.
Yep.
And I was out in the audience hiding out there, and he said, "Any questions?" And I said, "Yeah, what kind of shampoo do you use?" He's like, "Who is this guy? Security?" It was funny.
Yeah.
He had to be there.
Right. Well, you have already written music for Atomic Disintegrator, which you are going to release maybe by mid of 2014 or maybe end. So if you are asked, how would you define the music of that particular album in just one sentence? How would you do that?
Intense.
Uh-huh. So if
pretty intense.
And there are so many things going on, right now. You're playing with so many things now, all the metal all-stars tour and stuff. So, is Nick Menza, planning to establish his, style little more now compared to how it was in 90s?
I'd like to. Right now, so many people are looking at me from that time and
Yes.
wanting to see that stuff being played. So I'm kind of catering to what the fans have been asking me. Play this song, play that song, and I've been basically, since there's nobody to jam with at the moment, I've been just doing these drum play-through videos, of all my favorite songs. I'm going to do like a top 10 drum play-through list on YouTube of like all my favorite songs that I jam out to every day
Cool.
to warm up to, just Opeth, all my favorite bands that I like. I have a song from each one, and I'm just going to pump them all out there and play the drums to them. And
That's wonderful.
if I tell people that all the time, I go, dude, if I don't hear music, and if I hear music for the first time, and it makes me want to go get on my drums and play drums to it, then it's probably pretty good. If I don't want to go play drums to it, then chances are it's not any good.
Right.
And it could be any kind of music. It doesn't just have to be metal. It could be anything, from hip-hop to jazz to funk to R&B to whatever.
Right.
I just like playing to whatever's grooving, whatever's happening.
Right. That's wonderful, Nick. Nick, I would like to end the interview on a very, very short note. I don't know, when is that going to happen? But as a fan, it would be an honor for all the Megadeth fans if we get to see you live with Megadeth in future.
Yeah, well, like I said, anything can happen.
Right, so Nick Menza is up for it at any moment. Any moment, wonderful. Now, Nick, thank you so much for sparing your precious time today. It was an honor to have you. I don't know when are we going to see you, but whenever it's going to happen, it's going to be great.
For sure. Maybe we can do a clinic or something.